You gotta check out the vibes first.
Yeah, he's the cameraman.
All right, what's your name and where you from? Come close to get the audio.
Oh, sir?
Yeah.
My name is Ray. I'm from Brooklyn.
Right.
I'm David. I'm from Atlanta, but I just moved to Williamsburg like last year.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
All right, go Braves.
I guess. I don't really watch basketball or baseball like that. What can I say?
What about the Falcons?
Falcons have been disappointing.
Hey, all these Falcon fans be
NFC
running up to me for the Raiders.
I don't know about that, man.
Brady killed
They went, they went downhill after 28-3.
They killed What can I say? What can I say?
All right, now, let's get it. You want to get into the dating questions or you want to talk about Atlanta?
Bro, we can get a dating question.
Let's get into the dating questions.
Sure.
All right, now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's say you see a fine-looking woman in here.
Yeah, sure.
You ask her out. She's like, no.
Yeah.
You see her again 2 months later.
Yeah.
You think there's a chance you could change your mind? Or you think women are set in their ways?
Yo, me personally, if she says no, she says no. There's other people that will say yes. I ain't gonna press her. Like, hey, it is what it is. Like, everybody's got their own rights. They who knows? She might be going through it with somebody, going through it with herself.
Right.
Who knows?
I probably wouldn't approach the girl again, but like if the no was kind of like platonic and it was friendly, maybe we can just the second time talk shit. It's not about dating or anything, you know. But like I wouldn't like say you want to go out again because it's very clear at that point.
Word.
All right, now how about like approaching women in public spaces like this?
No, you gotta be doing that. Like
you was doing this right now?
Wait, so we started doing this 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's out of order.
We come to this park after drinking at a bar called 212. It's a college bar. It sells $5 to $6 drinks.
The drinks are cheap. Join in. Yeah, why not?
What's the question? Approaching girls in public?
Approaching women in public. Look, there's half the people out there are saying women, and perhaps you can enlighten us on this because you got a lot of experience doing this. Now, half the guys I interview on this channel will say, nah, women, they come here just to enjoy the fresh air. Don't bother them. What do you got to say about that?
I would say I agree. Don't bother anyone. But here's the thing. You shouldn't be coming up to somebody with like ulterior motives. Like you shouldn't be like, hey, like, what you trying to get a drink? No, like you should meet people. So if you meet them, hey, what's your name? What do you do? If you're just talking to them like they're a human, we're talking. I'm not bothered. So I would say don't bother anyone. Become somebody just like, what can you offer me? That's not.
There's no expectations. When we go out, it's about connecting with new people, especially after the last year. We've been starved of social interaction. And if something happens as a result of it, so be it. But at the end of the day, if we connect, and it's just about having a good time and having fun.
Sometimes you just have a conversation, like you add somebody on Instagram, it's like, yo, nice to meet you, and then maybe later y'all will hang out, but it don't got to be right then and there. So I would say, don't bother anyone, but just make genuine connections and see what happens.
All right, let me ask you this. You guys got a lot of experience out here hunting.
Oh my god. Making genuine connections.
I get you.
We know what you're saying.
Yeah, I get you.
Tell me this.
what are some signs that you're looking for to indicate that it's okay to approach?
Eye contact.
Yeah, eye contact for sure.
Eye contact.
Eye contact's the biggest one, especially if it's like multiple times.
Yeah. Every time you see something, you know, if you see somebody you're low-key interested in, you might like glance over a few times, and so if you see that happen or you do it, you see that.
I think body language too, right? If people are very closed off in like a very like intimate group, we're not gonna barge in on that.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be rude. You don't want to bother anyone. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
exactly.
What about like joggers?
Oh, I'd be bothering a jogger. I'd go stop you in a jog.
I mean, there'd have to be such a clear signal, which I don't know what it would be to stop a jogger.
Yeah, not trying to be rude. Yeah.
All right, now this is also controversial.
Sure.
What about a woman that's just here like studying? Like she's studying for like, you know, a test or something.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I did that a few weeks ago actually. There was some girl who was like highlighting the news.
Yeah.
She really likes to highlight the news, but there was eye contact. You know what I mean? So that's why I think there's a way to do it very politely.
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. What do you think?
Honestly, I would say that's okay because studying it's not like if somebody's like taking a test, that's one thing. But studying, like people take breaks all the time. People call their friends while studying, get distracted, watch a YouTube video. Yeah. So in that case, again, you kind of gauge the situation. Like if you start talking to someone, you're kind of like, but you can tell they're busy. Hey, it's like, all right, I'll let you get back to your thing. But I would say it's worth the shot.
At the end of the day, if you don't ask, it's always a no.
Exactly. Yeah. You just make sure you're avoiding bothering people. Yeah.
All right, now let me ask you this. We went through some of the positive signals, the green lights. Now tell us some of the red lights.
what are some signs to look for to say don't even bother?
I think like he said, one thing is like if you clearly see people are in a group, they're doing their thing, they're laughing, like they are having their own individual time. Yeah. Let them have their own individual time. Like you don't need to walk up and make the vibes all awkward and you're standing around and the group's kind of like
Another thing too is headphones. I feel like if someone has their headphones in, I don't want that. I wouldn't want to disturb someone. I also think it's a signal that they're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't walk up to someone with headphones.
Same.
If I see a girl with a dude, probably not.
Yeah, that's
you know,
just how to expect. Just in case. It's like it ain't that serious. I'm not trying to,
Unless I know for a fact they're not together.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you guys are a team.
We're neighbors, but we're also like great friends. Yeah.
Okay. Do you approach women together or individually?
Both.
Yeah, literally
both.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fact that it might intimidate the woman if it's two guys?
Not the same.
Oh no! We would. Both of us would not walk up to one girl.
Okay.
It would be.
So separately. It's done separately. Because if two of you walk up at the same time, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah. If it's one girl, then one of us is walking up.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
It's like, you have like friends, you know what I mean? Like two people.
Let me on online dating.
I think that I'm personally not a fan of it, just because the dates that I've gone on and the interactions I've had with those apps haven't been super enjoyable. When meeting people in the wild's my thing, and that's been a lot of fun. But I've seen people with dating apps. They're in relationships now and they're happy, and people hook up all the time on dating apps. So it's, I think, different strokes for different folks.
I mean, me personally, I'm a pretty big fan, but I mean, it's just because like I just really like meeting new people, so I don't go there like expecting anything really, but just to meet somebody new. And then I've made friends. I mean, you learn about all sorts of stuff, new music, like all sorts, like really cool, wholesome shit, honestly. Yeah. So to me, like people are just people, and that's just like another medium to meet new people through. So, you know, I'm a fan. I also do think it's kind of skewed because I feel like a lot of it really comes down to some pretty superficial stuff. Yeah, so the superficial part of it's kind of like unfortunate, but I feel like there's still some good in there. So yeah.
All right, now Washington Square Park is a great place to meet women. What are some other good places to meet women?
Go to 212 Hiasi's. That's like near NYU. That's a bar that a lot of college students go to.
Honestly, to be honest though, New York's closed. I mean, like even if you go anywhere, it's not going to be like a normal bar because you're just going to be sitting down.
Yeah, it's true, but it's not impossible. You know, I think we've met
type
people.
Of their business. 212 is a dope ass place.
Yeah, go there. I think the parks, honestly. I think you come here, you go to Central Park.
I think
you go to Domino Park.
Bet,
your park's the best bet. Yeah. But at the same time, if you have the courage to walk up to somebody, you don't give a fuck. It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere.
Yeah, weird. I guess.
Now, how has dating changed under COVID?
Oh my God. Well, dating apps were like the only way for a long time. Like literally, that was the only thing that you had. If it wasn't for that, like it was literally a full-on quarantine, lockdown, curfews at one point. So yeah, it kind of pretty much shifted everything that must be online. And even a lot of first dates, generally like you go to a bar. It's not like all first dates just like go to the park. That was like the only place you could go for a first date, the park. So definitely shifted things in those ways, I'd say.
I will piggyback with David. I think dating apps, but right now, as of April 2021, I think stuff is starting to get back to normal. I know, like, you go to states, obviously, like Florida and Texas, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Now, how people feel in those states about COVID it's up to each person. But here, I feel like the city is starting to come back to life, and the idea of walking up to people and asking them on dates or just generating new connections is like starting to, I don't know, man. I think the summer is going to be kind of wild in New York. People are restless and they're ready to get crazy.
Do you think that women are more willing to give out phone numbers before or after COVID?
That's a good question.
I don't really ask for phone numbers, honestly.
Or contact details.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you think?
Honestly, I feel like everybody, men, women, I feel like everybody's been kind of starved of talking to other people. So again, I feel like as long as you approach people with like a genuine, like you're actually trying to know who they are, I feel like people are definitely like pretty likely to, you know, just, again, it's all about how you come at it, and if you're coming with ulterior motives, if you're just trying to like honestly have it genuinely, you know, good.
People can tell when you're just trying to fuck, you know, and like that's for most people that's not an attractive thing.
Yeah.
I'd probably say after, just because of how the last year has gone for everyone, and I think it's only up from here, you know.
Now, in this park, I see a lot of unattractive men with attractive women. How do you explain that?
Because it's superficial. It doesn't matter what you look like, yo. Like, I mean, looks is like, that's great. It's cool, but I mean, hey, you never know what else somebody's got going for them. They might be hilarious. They might be the best. They might be an incredibly supportive person, the best listener you've ever met. So I mean, like, you can be attractive and just be like a shit person. That's so easy.
Yeah, they either they're a real ass person like David's describing, or they got a lot of money.
That's possibility.
Come on, we gotta be real. That superficiality it does exist.
That's true. That's very true.
Not saying I vouch for that, but it exists.
Yep, that's true.
Now, you just said that you could be a shit person and look very good.
Of course, very.
What are your thoughts? How would you describe most of the really good-looking women that you come in contact with? Would you say they have a shit personality, or do you not think that?
I mean, I feel like most people in general don't have a shit personality. I feel like that when people are, you know, a little bit more attractive, like, they're used to people coming at them for that reason. So because of this, they can be a little bit more closed off. Because that's what always happens. A guy comes up, they're like, here we go again. But so they might give off that demeanor, but it doesn't mean that that's how they are in their friend group or with their normal group of friends. That's just probably how they're responding, because they're like, I know why you're here. So again, like that's what we've been saying, like as long as you come in it with the right way and you come in it like a person trying to meet a person, then hey, like you get to meet the actual person, not the exterior that they might give off. So yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
What is the question again?
Is there a connection between bad personalities and good-looking women?
I sure hope not.
Bad personalities and good-looking women. I think it goes. I agree with David. I think it goes both ways. I think you're gonna have bad personalities with good-looking women, and bad-looking women with good personalities. You know, I think
same thing for men.
For men too. Yeah, it's just, you know. I think at the end of the day, if two people get together, no matter how they look, if they click, they click.
All right. Yeah. All right. Now my next question is, how important is it to dress well, or have your hair cut nicely, or groom yourself well when you're meeting women? How important is that, if at all?
I think it is important if it's important to you. You know, like if you want to, be yourself. If you want to have the nice skin fade and have the nice clothes, or wear a nice dress, like you do that. But if you're just going out to do that to impress other people, it's not going to go well. It's going to show, and when you guys break that barrier and you guys actually are getting to know each other, and that period of time where that happens varies, then if the intention's not right, it's not going to last.
Yeah, no, I literally totally agree. Like, just like you said, I was about to say the exact same thing. Like, do you to the best of your abilities. If you is kind of like you like to have a little bit of scruffy or whatever, that's cool. If you are, like he says, likes to be really clean, you like expensive clothes, if you like only thrifting, that's all good. The thing is, like he said, you got to be yourself. Now, the one thing you can't do is you can't be irresponsible with your looks. So it's one thing to be like, I like to be a little scruffy. There's another thing to be like, I never even ever factor that in. If you are not conscious of it at all, I'd be like, hey, maybe get conscious of it. But once you're conscious, as long as you're comfortable in your own skin, you're comfortable in your own skin.
I think like things like general hygiene, I think most people can agree that's an important thing.
Yeah.
But also at the end of the day, man, like if some people like the body odor, there's people out there who like that shit, and it's like, it is what it is.
It is a pandemic.
But in general, you probably want to have generally good hygiene.
You don't want to bother someone. Imagine. Jesus Christ. Right.
All right, now, do you believe that nice guys finish last?
I think to an extent. I think if the guy is putting other people before himself, which is most likely the whole nice guy thing, that's not a good thing. I think you got to be your own person before you fuck with other people, whether that's relationships or hooking up. Because most nice guys, that phrase that everyone knows, I mean, they're just giving too much of themselves and putting the woman before themselves. I think that stems super, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist, but that stems super deep back with how people are raised and people pleasing and like coping with stuff. And so I think to an extent, yes.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's like this really popular word nowadays, simps. I mean, hey, like, what can I say? Like, yeah, to a huge extent, because I think, again, in a weird way, a lot of times it comes down to motives. Because a lot of the reason guys are being so nice is almost like they expect that if they do all of this, that it's like a math equation. If I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to get blah. And I feel like a lot of times girls see right through that and they're like, I appreciate you for being nice, but hilarious if you thought that was how this was going to work out. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's not that, obviously, like, don't be an asshole, but just be yourself. If you don't have to be a nice guy, you just have to be you. And if you're whatever degree of nice you are, that's cool. But just keep it like that. You know, you still obviously want to be a good person, but yeah, just being nice for the sake of being nice. Yeah, people see right through that. Don't be a simp.
Yeah. Do you think there is an actual phenomenon where women are attracted to bad boys or men who treat them badly?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say
yeah,
maybe.
I think so. I think so. I can't explain why, you know, to be honest.
But it's definitely out there?
It is a thing, yeah, definitely. I think there's something attractive to a lot of, I'm not just gonna say women, to a lot of people, about a challenge and about trying to change somebody.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but it exists for sure.
You run into guys too that have like girls that like honestly don't treat them that great, and all the guys in the friend group are like, bro, why are you still dating her? And he's like,
the sex must be it.
So yeah, who knows? Yeah, so I feel like there's a lot of psychological things that play into that. But yeah, I think what Ray said, people like a challenge. And if everything's too easy, if it's too simple, there's no challenge. You don't feel a challenge. You don't feel like you're growing as a person. So in a very odd way, somebody who makes things difficult forces you to like go out of your comfort zone, and sometimes it can be a little attractive. So I mean, yeah.
Now, do you believe that opposites can attract?
Oh, hell yeah. I always, for sure.
Yeah,
I don't like dating girls that are just...
Yeah, I mean,
really I get bored.
There's something very attractive about meeting someone who's cut from a different cloth and who has different interests from you. Does that mean it's going to work? It's with anything. I've dated people who are like complete opposite, and it didn't necessarily work after a period of time, but I've dated people who are very similar, and it didn't necessarily work either. So it definitely happens, but if it's good, I don't know, you just go with the flow, man, and just however long things last, see what happens.
Like, I'm a pretty extroverted person, kind of. Like, I like meeting new people, like doing shit like this. I'm terrible at art, yet I tend to always like girls who are like very introverted and really good at art. Like, I'm bad at cooking, like great at like other stuff. I like people who are like good at like almost everything that I'm not good at. I like people that are, and then I tend to like compensate them in places that they're not as strong. So like, I'm a big fan of that. I think like you should complement each other and like, again, both help each other grow. And if you're gonna help each other grow, it's better their strength be your weakness and your weakness be their strength. And then
Biggest accomplishment in life?
My biggest accomplishment?
Yes.
So I'm a certified chess master. So I guess you could say that. It took me a long time to make it. Chess master is kind of a hard title to get. But yeah, I mean, that's my full-time job is teaching chess, and like something I take pretty seriously. And I have some aspirations related to it. I'm like top 20 in the country for black chess players, so I plan to climb those ranks and make some.
So you like a little semi-celebrity
in the chess world, purely in the chess world. And that's a small.
People ever recognize you?
And this is the chess. Oh, this is the board game. Yo, I love this game. Don't get me wrong, but nah, it ain't like that. It's just a niche. It's a niche that I happen to excel in. So yeah.
I am a filmmaker. I can talk about film festivals. I won a scholarship from an 80s movie star named Burt Reynolds in high school. I can talk about all that stuff. At the end of the day, like as an artist and a creator, like the success, and I've been trying very hard to not focus on the tangible things that actually happen or like the outcome in general. It's just making stuff that I'm passionate about with my friends and just doing that for as long as possible. And if I can get that out to people and they connect with it, even if it's one person, that's a success. So like the Academy Awards, the film festivals, the money, all that stuff, you know, it's in my mind. Like, I think people want to win, you know, people want that stuff, but it shouldn't be like why we do things.
So you're a content creator?
Yes.
What is your most successful content?
Most successful content?
Yeah.
In 2017, I made a documentary in film school called Full Circle about an NFL player's charity efforts. His name's Anquan Bolden. You might know who he is.
Yeah.
And that broadcasted on PBS in 2019.
Wow.
And I had like 30 to 40 film festival screenings. But for me, like I said, like the success was when I went to a film festival in Sarasota. I was doing a Q&A. People walked up to me and like talked about how connected they felt to that story and how they knew the area and they knew the situation with Anquan and whatnot, and like that. Just people would be able to like watch those 7 minutes and really connect with it. Like that means the world more than anything, any money, any award, anything like that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, can you give me a recap of the conspiracy theories?
Oh my God. Yo, long story short, just New York has some wild people. That's all I'm going to say. There was a very wild city, a lot of wild amazingness. Sometimes closer than you might expect. You never know. Like there's all sorts of stuff going on.
How many minutes do you normally give it till you come to that conclusion?
Like seconds. We're talking a period of seconds here.
Seconds.
And within the first 30 seconds, I typically know where shit's going. So.
Do you have that happen a lot to you? Like just people coming up to you?
Actually, I'm a very patient individual, and I also am very social. So I mean.
How do you get out of that situation?
Oh, dude, that happened. Me? With me? Oh, this happened 2 nights ago. To me.
Where we were in line at 212, and some guy who was very drunk and attracted to both of us.
Supposedly so. I was like, bro, I'm straight as hell.
David talked to him for like 45 minutes, even when we said we were hanging out with 2 girls.
We were stuck in line.
So y'all leave. Oh, you couldn't leave?
Yeah,
no,
we were in line.
No,
we couldn't get out of the line. I was like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But he was, honestly, the guy wasn't being rude. He wasn't honestly saying anything crazy. He was just like talking about his cacao trees.
Yeah,
he has a lot of 50,000 cacao trees. So it's actually kind of interesting. Yeah. So I didn't really mind. I was just taking him with the team.
I mean, in the future, how would you get out of that?
Dude,
I think
you gotta come up with a plan.
I think it's just like you just got to be very polite and say, hey, I got plans with someone, whether you're embellishing it or not. Yeah. Or you just got to say, hey, I need to be alone.
I'm just gonna be like,
you just gotta let me be right now. Yeah,
it's been nice talking to you. I'm gonna talk to my friends now.
That's it. You just gotta be straight up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not rude. Yeah, just honest.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
maybe rude, depending on the situation. Yeah.
All right, last question.
Yeah.
Whenever I talk about like meeting friends, relationships, dealing with people, people talk a lot about positivity. And people are attracted to other people who are positive, and they avoid negativity or negative energy like the plague.
Yeah.
How important is it to surround yourself with positivity, and are you all the type to like cut positive or negative energy out completely?
Well, birds of the same feather flock together. So, and depending on what you are, a reflection of like the 5 closest people that you know. So, I'm not going to tell people what they should and should not do, but you will most likely will become what you surround yourself with. I think there are more desirable traits than others in everybody. But I think it's important to set boundaries, you know what I mean? I don't think you need to cut someone, unless they're extremely toxic and they're affecting who you are as a person, then I'd probably just give them the blade. But I think you can hang out with people in certain capacities if you have the ability to set boundaries, which is not something that's very easy to do.
Yeah, I think like you have to know your own emotional health and capabilities. And sometimes people try to take on too much, trying to be a good friend or whatever, but like you just have to know what you're capable of and what you can handle. Like me personally, I can handle a lot with that, so I don't mind. Like I can hear people's problems.
You don't feel weighed down by that?
Not at all. People can vent to me and I'll just try my best and it doesn't affect me. But I know a ton of people and I feel like most people that's not the case. And so you just have to, you gotta know yourself and you gotta like, you got to make sure that you're taking care of your emotional health first, because you can't help others if you're getting hurt yourself. So I'm not the sort to like cut people out, but depending on who you are, you might have to be that person. And I know a lot of people that have had to make those decisions or have to be even pushed to make those decisions because they won't. So you got to know yourself, basically. You just got to know yourself.
Okay, now you want to plug into your social media?
I'll plug it.
Wait, you say you're a professional chess teacher?
Yeah.
You got a website for that, or?
No, I'm not.
How do you find people?
I work in a place. I have a salary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm employed for doing that.
Okay.
But long story short, my social media is Prince_NEDU95.
Yeah. Just go to bigbluepictures.com and you'll find everything.
All right. Y'all want to give a shout out to anybody?
Rob Bavis and John Buell.
Yeah. Shout out to Pamela and Carla. 2 sisters we met from Chile 2 weeks ago.
Great people.
Very wholesome.
Indeed, great people. And then John and Rob Bavis. Yeah.
All right, do I have your permission to put this on the internet?
Yes, you do.
Thank you.